Chris here. Good morning. Welcome to the daily Q&A here in C Inner Circle. I love doing that. Never did daily Q&As until this whole, new interesting situation we're all in started, and it's really, really fun. It's been a great way to connect. So glad you're all here. And let me just make sure that I am getting good audio. As always, with Facebook being a little stressed right now, when you're jumping in here, just let me know that the audio video is good so I can keep going the right way. I'm going to jump in on the Facebook group on my phone and make sure that we're actually getting somewhere too. So here comes, there we go. I think we're getting somewhere. What's up, Remo? Good to see you, man. And Dennis, awesome to see y'all. Audio and video, we're cranking along. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know something is working, that y'all can hear me and see me. Okay. I will keep enjoying this amazing day. Here in Memphis, Tennessee, it is like 70 in 4 or 5 days in the next week. Just love this time of year. Awesome. Looking good, sounding good. Thanks, guys. Brock, great to see you. Dennis, so far so good. Awesome. AB's good. Thank you guys both, all three of you. So let's talk. What's up, Matthew? Great to see you. Let's talk about Facebook groups. This is a question I'm getting like a ton right now. And I think a lot of other people who have groups are kind of getting this question. Should you actually have your own Facebook group? Well, let's figure that out. So it really kind of depends, right? You don't want to have a Facebook group if you just don't want to do a lot of work, because they are a lot of work. And it's a really good thing. I love hanging out in this group, but there's a lot of time involved. So let me kind of explain when you'd kind of want to have your own Facebook group and when you should probably pass. Okay, so if you're offering some kind of information service, Alex, great to see you. Sean, great to see you. It's awesome to see you guys. If you're offering some kind of information service that's really based on you being able to express your knowledge to people, then yeah, a Facebook group is an amazing way to do that. And a lot of people use Facebook in different ways. Some people just run ads. Some people actually communicate in other people's Facebook groups, like jumping in, not being scammy or selling another group, but simply adding value to current conversations that are going on. You'll see that in the conversations of this group. Some amazing people are helping us add value to this group. And I'm so thankful for all of y'all when y'all do that. What's up, Brenda? Great to see you. We just want to make sure that we're actually building community in a Facebook setting. So whatever social media platform you're using, group or no group, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever, if you're adding content, happy Tuesday, YouTube, Brenda. If you're adding content, then it's important that you add it in a way that really adds value to the person you're working with, right? So if it's in your own Facebook group, if you start one, we'll get to that in a second, or if it's in someone else's Facebook group, some other form of an online community, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. Diesel, awesome to see you, but you want to make sure that you're adding really good, valuable content and that you're actually helping people in the process. Okay. So every now and then I jump in someone else's Facebook group and I add value to a comment or a thread that myself or my staff or somebody else online points out to me. And I try to really just add honest, solid, amazing content. Try to blow people away when you add content in any online setting. Just give and give and give. You cannot give too much other than just literally taking over your life and you don't have any hours left to give. You truly can't give too much. Just keep going and going and going. All right. If you're in someone else's group on Instagram, YouTube, any other channel, if you're on MySpace, that's cool, right? I guess if you're a musician, that's kind of coming back. Anyway, add value. All right, so let's get back to, should you have your own Facebook group? Now, having a group requires even more involvement and more management. So you got to invite people to the group, which means you got to find people that are in a certain niche. So that's really important. If you have a Facebook group, it's hard to kind of have a group that does anything or goes anywhere if it's too diverse. So in this group, for instance, we're just creative agency owners. So people in this group are creative agency owners. There's not any mechanics or attorneys or car salespeople or airplane pilots in here that I know of. I just don't think there are, because we don't attract that niche. And when we invite people in, they're very much on point because we want to make sure that the content in here is actually really relevant to you in your place. If you're watching this right now, this content is hopefully relevant to you, and it would not be relevant to a lot of other people in the world. So if you're creating your own group, make it very, very specific and invite very, very specific people to it, and make sure it's an area that you can really add a lot of value in. You want to be able to, as a group leader, really encourage and influence and help people forward. A group is just like adding value in any other location. It's so important that you bring it and bring it strong and really add the content and the relationships and the connections and the opportunities that people want to have when they're hanging out. Now, think of a Facebook group just like having a house party. Okay, you're going to have a big party in a park, at an event, in your house, whatever. You want to have that party and you want to make connections. You want to bring your friends together. You want to let them have a good time. You want to make sure that so and so meets so and so because they have similarities. I do that constantly in this group. I love introducing people and love making connections. And I love helping people answer their questions and teaching about the creative agency model and how to scale that, grow it profitably, do it efficiently, all that kind of stuff. That's me, right? You pick what works for you. What do you like talking about? Who do you like introducing? Who do you like hanging out with? Those are the people you invite in your group, and you make your group specific about those people. Brian, what's up? Great to see you, dude. You make it specific about that. That's really, really, really important. Now, let's think through the man. Facebook is just rocking today. Like I am. Sorry, side shoot here. I'm really impressed. Like usually Facebook's slow and it's been glitchy lately, but I've been kind of like downplaying the new live streaming thing they got going on. But today, very impressed. They just did another update. Very, very impressed. Like what's on my screen is almost literally to the second going live when I'm saying it. Usually it's like a 10-second delay and it's glitchy. Very nice. Okay. Thank you, Facebook. I know you're watching. Facebook always watches me. So you want to make sure your group is specific, that you're able to deliver really good content. You're able to connect people and have a good time. That's super important in having your own group. You will need to spend time there. All right. I'm in this group literally every day, 5 days a week. And you don't have to do everyday lives. I wasn't doing daily lives before all this craziness started happening a few weeks ago, a month ago, whatever. I was just doing live Q&As like once a week. I used to just drop in like maybe some written content, like 300 to 500 words, just explaining in a simple way a concept or something that would help the people in this group. And I might drop in any of the other training videos. We have tons of online training content that we recorded over the years, and I would drop some of that stuff in there. All right. So you can just do it simply like that. 3 times a week, maybe you post in your group, answer questions. As people come in, be sure and welcome them. Be authentic, be real, be generous in your content and in your attitude, and people will love that. Looking smooth on our end. I'm so glad, Diesel. That's really great. Lila, awesome to see you. So glad this is working. Like, yay. So, by the way, we've had Zoom glitch a few times. Yesterday in our Mastermind Q&A, we had like 10 people on there at once, and which isn't that big of a group. And like Zoom locked up for everybody. We're talking all over the US and in several other countries in Europe and Australia. Everybody locked at once, like boom. I don't think it was on my side. I don't know if you'll have any other issues with Zoom going on like that, but I think Zoom's getting obviously an enormous amount of traffic too. So we'll give them a little space. Okay. Yes, definitely more engagement and exposure with lives. You're so true. So lives, if you're comfortable with them in your Facebook group, it's a great place to do them because you do get more engagement. I mean, look at this. I have 7 people watching this right now. That makes me a superstar. You do get more engagement though, and the Facebook algorithm really does rank you higher and higher as you're doing lives. And anybody who is following you or in your group or connected to you personally through your personal Facebook profile really gets a lot more exposure on their timeline with that live. And we love lives. I just love the camera. If you don't like that, do written. If you like pre-recording yourself and then posting it because you're nervous or whatever, just don't like the way it works, do that. Lives for me are efficient. I don't have to go back and edit anything. I get to just display and show the content and teach how we do stuff in our model. And then I also get to answer questions, and I don't have to make it a big time consuming thing where I record video for 15 minutes, then go back and edit for an hour and a half. I don't have time for that. You probably don't either. You could be prospecting. So, Remo, hey, Chris, not sure if it's just, okay. Hey, Chris, internet famous. That's right, Brock. 7 people, buddy. Crushing it over here. Me and Jimmy Fallon, I think we're pretty much the same. Hey, Chris, not sure. This is from Remo. Not sure if it's in subject with what you're speaking of already, but I'll go ahead with it anyway. Thanks. Should one have two separate profiles on Facebook? One for clients, professional, and the other for family, friends, personal. This is a really on point. Good one. Good one. Okay. I'm going more with one profile while I have both clients and family, friends. Why? Because it shows more transparent story about yourself, personal, professional. Want to know your thoughts and advantages, disadvantages. Absolutely amazing question. Perfectly on point. If you have your own Facebook group, this is going to come up. All right. So people are stalkers, right? I don't know how many of y'all have looked at my personal profile page, but it's amazing how many people, if you track the algorithm, if you leave a post in some other Facebook group or in a live on your own, or you reach out anyway, so many people will never show up on your live or ever comment or like a post that you put anywhere else, but they will absolutely click on your name and see your Facebook profile. Your Facebook profile is the front page for your brand, even though it doesn't maybe have tons of company content in there. If you look at my Facebook profile right now, go ahead and click on it. Look at my Facebook profile right now. It's got a picture of me, and it's got a picture of my family in the mountains where I like to hang out west. And I'm kind of careful about putting pictures of my kids and stuff on there. So you'll notice that all my kids are conveniently looking the other way if they're in the shot. So that's just kind of personal. I didn't put my company brand on my personal page. I don't want to take it that far. But if you start scrolling down, you'll notice that my posts are very targeted towards this group. So they're very creative agency oriented. All right. Now, I've had multiple brands over the years, and my agency really specializes on dealing with surgeons and dentists, medical professionals in subspecialties in very niche communities. But I don't have any medical stuff in there because we don't market to our medical and dental clients in Facebook. We only work in this creative agency space on Facebook. So yes, I am a huge believer in having one Facebook profile. Facebook will catch you eventually, and when they do, they will shut you down. And if you're doing anything important in Facebook, you're going to really wish you hadn't gone with two personal profiles. They're getting better and better at catching people. The other reason is just keep your profile clean. You know, if you have pictures and the expression that you live with should be consistent with an image that that promotes who you are as a person, and how you want to be seen and known by your followers. Okay, so I know that some of us may have huge college friend connections, and we want to just make all those college friend connecting jokes constantly. Awesome. If that's you, then be that. But it's not going to help you with your niche brand in a Facebook group unless it's that college or that type genre. All right. So for instance, I don't put any, again, my kids' pictures, they have their own social media platforms. When they're old enough, we don't put any of their younger pictures on Facebook simply because we've had weird family stuff in our history, and we need to make sure our kids were protected from other sections of our family. There, that's nice and vague. But we wanted to make sure our kids were safe. So we've chosen not to do that. I don't put a lot of goofy pictures on there. I don't put pictures of Jill and I at charity events and things like that. All that stuff. Occasionally, if it's just a good picture of me and Jill, I'll put it on there. But usually it's just 2/3 of it is maybe elite agency, kind of creative agency kind of stuff. The other third's a little bit more personal, little windows into my personal life, but it's professional. So fantastic question. CN, awesome. Great to see you. Brock, yeah, Facebook is a public place, even if you use it privately, marketing only for me. So true. Melissa, awesome to see you. So, yep, hope that answers your question. Remo, if you have another clarification, let me know. But yeah, absolutely keep your Facebook profile clean and a billboard for you as a representative of your brand. Okay. Even if it's a little personal, still the personal side of you that you would like to be seen as professional. Doesn't mean you can't have fun. There's probably some pictures of me on a paddleboard with my dog or things like that in my Facebook profile. If you dug down there, you're welcome to look. But again, I keep it in a professional setting and make it where it's, not, some image of me knocking down 20 beers and just totally smashed and the stupidest picture you've ever seen of any human. Like, that's not Facebook stuff. In my world, that's not how I want to be seen. And it's not how I want to be represented in my brand. And I think you should think through the same things. Okay. Lila, should you invite people one-on-one into a group or post general invite? Absolutely. I'm a one-on-one fan. Okay. You can do a general invite every now and then. In fact, you'll notice in the most recent Facebook post I have on my personal profile, it's like two people in black and white sketch boxing. If you read that post and scroll down, there's actually a soft pitch for this elite agency inner circle group, but I don't even think I linked it. But people have, like, probably 10 people have joined the group because of that soft pitch by private messaging us and asking to get in the group or clicking to join the group. Maybe a dozen, maybe 15. I don't know. I haven't counted them up. But it was a definite response. It's still coming in from that post, which is 2 weeks ago, maybe. So that's the broadest kind of pushy outward group post. I like to make groups very personal. So we invite them one-on-one. Just a simple, hey, we have a group that's this. And here, like for this one right here, hey, we have a group that just deals with figuring out profitability and scaling your creative agency. We talk about it every day. Would love for you to be in there. Boom. That's a simple invite. Send it out to people that are currently connected to you. If you are reaching out in someone else's Facebook community and answering questions and being an expert in someone else's community, just adding value, do that. You can simply say real softly, hey, this is a really great question. It comes up a lot in my private Facebook group as well. And here's the content. Here's how I would answer that. Just give them tons of value. And inevitably, people will be like, oh, you have a Facebook group? How do I find it? They'll ask you. And then you can private message them a link or get them invited. But mention that you have one, and here's how you handle things in there as a non-creepy, non-silly way, but definitely a mention when you're adding content out there in the world. Brenda, do you believe in keeping your Facebook profile public or private? Absolutely public, simply because when you have a Facebook group or a Facebook page, you become a public person, even if it's to 10 people or to right now, rocking it, 11 people. Woo! That's amazing. So I'm a public figure, Brenda. Yes, and you have got to see my profile. No, for real, I make mine public simply because people want to stalk on Facebook. That's what it's all about. You're going to have 10 times, literally. I've seen stats from other presentations. I don't know how to track it, but you'll literally get 10 times as many people seeing your personal profile as you will seeing your group or your public page. And that's simply because people love to find out who you are. We're stalkers, right? We all do it. Okay. Cian, did you use private message to invite people or post and tag friends? I use private message. I want to make Facebook groups. When I'm in a group, I love when they're personal and they're real. I like interaction, and I don't want to selly. I don't personally want my group to be selly or just automated. So I love sending private messages for that. Good question. Brock, even if you set a post/comment to private, it's always on accidental click. It's one accidental click away from public, and Facebook can do analytics on it either way. Just treat it public no matter how the settings of the post. I think about what we're posting before you post it. Yeah, think about what you're posting before you post it. LOL. You rock, Chris. Yeah, Brenda, but look at that, down by 2. I lost some viewers. So yes, let's get back on. You keep asking questions. Back to the structure of the Facebook group. Figure out a nice, easy topic. Like, name your group something relevant. Super simple. Don't be too cool with it. Don't try to overthink it. Just make it obvious that, hey, this is the person we support and we help in this group, and here's how we help. All right, and then you can put a little banner up there at the top, like on this Facebook group, just explaining what you do and how you help in this Facebook group. It's really straightforward. And then go invite people to it. If you're looking for more people to invite, you can go out in the greater world. You can search for people on Facebook based on their job title, looking groups that they're all congregating in. Facebook's great at collecting people in genres. So just go to other groups, sign up to be in those groups, jump in, look around, and invite people to be your friend. Go in those groups, click friend request, and boom, they'll accept your friend request. It happens super easy. And then once they're your friend, say, hey, I've got this group over here. Notice that you're on another group and would love for you to be part of it. Love to be creating content that's helpful for both of us. Something like that. And people love jumping in. And then you can totally build relationships and become an influencer. And you'll start growing your clientele and your agency model with that. Brock, Do you use the social learning features for groups? Any tips on how to set up those lessons? I have not done that yet, Brock. Took a peek at them actually like last week and have not done that yet. How do you rearrange people that have gone inactive in a group? When do you decide to prune the group? I prune the groups when they're when if somebody's not relevant, like if they're truly, if I invited them and turns out they're really actually not relevant for this group, then I'll just shoot them a quick message. Hey, noticed we're really not in the same genre. You do something completely different than I thought. So sorry. Hey, I'm going to remove you from this group. Love hanging out with you. Reach out if you ever need any help, any thoughts, whatever. Totally want to hang out sometime. Whatever. Just keep it friendly, you know? And then if my Facebook personal profile gets overrun, I'm constantly having to pull people out of my personal profile because I think they give you 5,000. So you have to start deleting friends. And I just trim those out based on the niche that they're in the world, and if they're really fitting the genre that I'm helping or serving. Okay, I don't prune people for inactivity if they're still on profile, because inactivity typically means they just don't have the need or feel the same need right now. But if they're on profile and in my niche, I will leave them in there because that time will come and I'll be their person. They're still seeing the activity. We're making that relationship happen. If it's 6 months from now or a year from now, whenever it happens, that's great. All right, how do you rearrange people? Okay, did that. What, Melissa? Great to see you again. What are your thoughts about sharing biz page content to personal page? That's a good question. I'm not a big fan of sharing, like posting it on the biz page and then sharing it to personal. And everybody I know who's like a genius at Facebook totally likes to just post those organically straight onto that page. So your personal profile, post it there. Biz page, post it there. If you have more friends on your personal profile, it's going to be more fun to post on your personal profile because you're going to get more likes and more comments. It's more satisfying. I make it the same post though. I might tweak it a sentence or two, or just the subject line or the image, and then I'll post that on a business page as well. But the thing about business page is it adds content, and over time, as you get more people in that group, it'll become more fun. You get more interaction, and the data you collect on your business page is way more valuable than what you collect on your personal profile. I do not have a business page. This is going to come up, so I may as well answer it. I do not have a business page for Elite Agency Inner Circle. We have just my personal profile and this group right here. Just because the group is how I want to interact and teach, the business page was just irrelevant for what we're doing. I found that groups are better from an engagement standpoint if you're trying to meet people and make introductions and get connections, trying to grow something in your business, whatever. Facebook groups are just way more interactive. Facebook pages are kind of your business's website on Facebook, but not as interactive, even though you can do comments and stuff. Facebook groups are still way more, and your personal profile is who you are. All right, Brock, what metrics do you look at besides sales to manage the group? Yeah, so we have this enormous spreadsheet, and we literally put everyone in the spreadsheet that's in any group we ever manage. And the spreadsheet goes through and helps us see here's who's in the group, here's how conversations have gone, and then here's the ascension process. And it's not because I want to track each person, it's because I want to see cumulatively how the content we're creating is helping people take action. So there's some of you I see every day in lives, and I love hanging out with y'all. There's some of you I see really commonly in personal messages. There's some of you that only comment in the threads below, but never comment during a live. There's all different types, and it's important to kind of understand that and track and keep tallies, whatever's meaningful to you. But for us, we're looking for, as a group, how does the information we're providing and the interaction we give actually create migration patterns of the people group we're serving in a way that's benefiting them. They're learning, they're engaging, and they're actually reaching out when they need help. So I'm looking for three things. I'm looking for, how are people learning? Meaning they're watching, they're commenting, they're liking, they're actually picking things up. They're engaging in whatever thread they're in on our Facebook groups. They're actually engaging. They're in the process. They're in the conversation. They're mentioning stuff, whatever. And they're actually flowing into a place where we can help them more one-on-one if they need help. We're never pushing our sales in our Facebook groups, as you know, you're here, you're watching it. But we're definitely wanting to know if people do want to raise their hand and say, hey, I could use some more help in this way. Like we get on a lot of one-on-one calls in our group. I love that. I have time for it. So we want to find out, how are people responding in those calls? What content do they really need? How do they want us to help? How can we help in the future? That kind of stuff. Okay. Whew, caught up on the questions. So one last thing about our Facebook groups that I think is relevant. If you have any more questions, obviously fire away. Great to see everybody. The last thing for our Facebook groups is, what do you do with it? So you have 50 people or 100 people or 20,000 people in a Facebook group. What in the world do you do with it, right? What do you do with those people? Well, you build a community and you become the influencer and the expert in your community. Now, I'm not the greatest creative agency owner of all time. I mean, I have 10 people watching me now, right? But that doesn't make me the greatest ever, because somebody else probably has 200 people watching them right now in their life. But if I can help and relate to a collection of people that like the way I communicate, that's a good thing. If you can relate and connect to people that like the way you're wired, the way you communicate, the way you write, the way you do lives, the way you do pre-record, whatever it is for you, whatever niche you're in, I promise there are thousands of people who want to know how you work, why you work, and how you make it happen. All right. So we want to make sure we're bringing relevant content that's actually helpful to the people that are connecting to us. Everybody has their own friends. When you go to a coffee shop, everybody has their own connections on Facebook. Just be in your spot. Forget the size of the group. This is a relatively small group, and we intentionally don't blow it up. We've never run ads to this group. We've never just done any mass marketing to this group. We literally do this one at a time in person, because I want to really be able to get to know the people in the group and add value. So where it ultimately goes is it could convert people to becoming your clients. If your group actually produces content that's sellable, you could sell the content. You could say, hey, we have this landing page over here, and we'd love for you to jump on it. There's several free things for you there. You're also welcome to sign up for, more content. We have a yoga instructor we work with. She's doing that. She's producing a lot of free content right now. Her yoga studio is closed, obviously, and she's selling into a smaller collection, a community for people who want daily content. Brilliant idea. You could be looking for ways to generate warm leads, referrals, people you could actually bring into a done-for-you service where your agency handles all that. It all comes down to, what are you hoping to get out of the group in a non-creepy way? Like, get out of it like, oh, I would like to have prospects and people who could use our done-for-you services. Awesome. Then you want to make sure you fill your group up and build it with the people who are potential prospects that you want to warm up to your message in your group. So kind of the end result is actually what informs the name and the genre, the niche that your agency or that your Facebook group works in. Cian, how do you monetize a Facebook group? I see folks in other groups saying they make money. What's it all about? Oh, good question. So there's so many ways to monetize Facebook groups. Again, some people are selling info products, which are fantastic. Technically, this right here is an info product. It's just for free. I'm doing these daily lives for free, particularly during all this crazy time that we're in, just to help people get moving. This is an info product. So you could sell this kind of info product. I could flip this group over tomorrow and say, hey, from now on, to be in the group, you have to pay $5 a month. It's an interesting idea, right? I should do that. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to. Don't worry. But you could do that. You could have so an entry fee into the group for really good content. You could also have links in your group at the top header, like in the pinned post or on the side, or in different posts, just saying, hey, here's the basics of this content that we just created and put over here on our website. And we'd love for you to jump over there and check it out. It's 3 sessions long. The first one's free. If you want to dive deeper, it's not a big deal. You'll see the pricing info there. You can send people through to a funnel that way. You can also jump on calls with people. There's lots of ways you can interact with your brand and get them to engage with you one-on-one. So if you're still doing a lot of market discovery, Facebook groups are amazing, because you're going to learn what their problems and needs are right now, today, in today's market, in the Facebook group through conversations. You can also invite them to be on calls with you and help them in any way you can for 30 minutes. And you will learn so much about your market's needs and wants and desires and how to solve that, so you can build out larger products. You can also invite them on calls. And if they're appropriate for the service that you offer or the product that you have, you can sell them in the call. Not, again, some people are pushy salespeople. I am so not. But but I guess there's nothing wrong with that. It's just your style. But you can invite them into places like in a one-on-one call or a Zoom or something like that. And if their need fits your solution, you can let them know, hey, here's what I've got, and would love to have you in there. There's ways to do that. So that's just being really honest and really open. And I kind of like that. Not kind of, I really like that. I don't want to be sold in a scammy sort of way, but if someone's got something that I need and I'm leaning into their community, like I have my own coach, I'm part of a mastermind that I pay to be in. A guy named Adam Flores is a fantastic guy. I'm in a program with him. We actually met each other at a ClickFunnels mastermind that we were both part of, like students of. And then, I joined his group because we're peers in our agency structure, but he had information and structures that I wanted to learn from. So all that to say, I take my own advice. I like to get on groups and in processes that build me, and you should do the same. All right. Just build yourself at whatever level you can. If it's free in a Facebook group, join someone. If you want to offer free content like I am in a Facebook group, do that so people can join you. If you want to build yourself and you have a budget that's here, find a program that's actually got accountability and teaching and structure and community and join it. Like spend the money and join it, because if it's good, make sure it's good. But if it's good, you're going to be so glad you did. If you want to offer that to your people in whatever genre you're in, do it. Offer them an opportunity to engage with you more and engage with the community and really build. It's important that we give those opportunities and that you take those opportunities personally to keep climbing up and up and up. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow, by the way, on just how the market's shifting right now. There's like this huge bell curve of people in agencies that are kind of tipping, and some are dying off. And I think there's really like this 5 or 6% mark that are going to actually just really go to the top of that curve, and some that are going to truly outrun the curves. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. I've kind of got this whole thing over here figured out that I wanted to show you. But anyway, Brenda, have 2 groups, one that you monetize from and the other where you give some value and bring those people into your real group where they would pay a monthly fee. It's a fantastic model. I've seen that work so many times for people. I can't figure out how in the world I would be involved in 2 groups in an effective way. So I just do this one. This is the only Facebook group I hang out in, other than helping out with some friends or contacts who I can add value to their groups. But I don't manage any other group except for this one. And I have staff helping me with this group to manage it because it's just time consuming. So just make sure you do something that's scalable for you. But that paid and free model is a great way to say, hey, if you want more of this content, or I post here weekly for free, love you're here, so glad, let's add value to each other. But if you'd like to see me daily and do live Q&A, it's over in that. That's a really great model. So yep, good one. That is all I have. I've exhausted my knowledge on Facebook groups. And if you have any more questions, fire away. Hang on here for just one more second. Can't encourage everyone enough to get out. If you're allowed to in your community, get out and be active. If you're not, do some lunges, stand up and down a bunch in your chair, do what you can, be active. Every day I'm putting activity in my life. It's harder and harder. They just roped off my my workout facility. Well, I can't go to my gym anymore, right? And now they roped off the playground across the street, so I can't work out there anymore. And I understand they're doing the right thing, but they're shutting us down slowly, and it's okay. We got this. Just make sure that you're really getting activity. Get those neurons firing, get the blood flowing, get a few endorphins moving around. You'll be glad you did. Okay, Diesel, very productive and engaging group here today. Fantastic. Cian, you bet. And I think we're good. Stay strong, stay healthy out there. Remember, activity breeds results. Learning everything we're talking about here, or any other content we have in this group, or that you have in any other group, or that you have in any course you've purchased, is great. But this is go time. So learning is hyper important, but most of us know a lot of what we can do right now. We just need to do it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just start firing away. All right. Activity breeds results. Get it done. Make a list, check it off, and just go. Forget if your list is perfect. If you got an idea and you can get activity, you can get referrals, you can get out there and reach more people and communicate, do it. If you're going to spend 3 days building out a Facebook group, don't. All right. Literally, it should take you 30 minutes to an hour to build a Facebook group, like to set it up, the structure, an initial post, Look at my group, copy it, initial post, and start inviting people, and then move on. Then spend your day inviting people, spend your day adding value in that group. And then within about a week or so, invite people to one-on-one conversations with you. Do something like that to build engagement, but activity is what's going to make you win here. It's not going to be how beautiful your group is. It's going to be how active your group is. It's not going to be how amazing your landing page looks and feels and how everything is just perfect. It's going to be the activity and the traffic you can run to it. All right. Activity, activity, activity. All right. You guys got this. Y'all are awesome. Brenda, thanks for giving us such great. Absolutely, Brenda. Dennis, I was quiet today. A sure sign I was listening intently and thinking. Good. So glad to see y'all, as always. Alex, that spreadsheet you have, all members, do you know of a way to export all the current members into a spreadsheet to start that? I don't. I don't. That's a good question. It wouldn't be handy. Lucy on my team and Thami on my team actually manage that process. And it's just a little bit labor intensive, but it gives me the data and the information I want to make sure that we're actually creating relevant content. So like literally the Q&As, the daily sessions I'm doing, these are literally the questions that y'all are asking in the group. All right. So, I mean, it's literally generating its own content and making own stuff happen. And CM, I cleaned out the microwave. Yeah, for real, right? What closet am I going to clean out today? I think the next thing on my list is a shed. We have 3 sheds in the back of our house. 2 of them are amazing right now. I'll take a picture and send it to y'all. And the third one is a disaster. We haven't gotten to it yet, but we're definitely cleaning things out. Okay, that's it. Everybody, y'all are obviously amazing. You know it. So great to see you all. And I will see you all tomorrow. And we'll dive into actually what's making the difference in this bell curve. Not just, we're seeing bell curves everywhere about the virus, but not just the bell curve of the virus, but like as the markets shift, this bell curve of stress and anxiety and heightened attention to detail and activity, we're going to walk through kind of how that bell curve's working and how not to be stuck on the backside dropping off, but to make sure you actually stay at the top of that when it starts to drop or keep going up. We'll talk about that tomorrow, and we will have the whiteboard out. Okay. That's it. Sick of talking. Y'all are sick of listening to me. I'll see you all tomorrow. Y'all are all the best. Can't wait to see you then. Bye.